We Are the World. You watched We Are the World.
I enjoyed this documentary. I had already started watching information about this whole journey with the We Are the World because I was curious with all the artists that they had in there. I was curious as to how they invited them, who came up with the song, who came up with the lyrics, who was instrumental in the specific singers with specific verses.
Mm-hmm.
And this documentary gives you that background of this whole We Are the World journey. To me, you guys, that was in 85, right? 86.
Mm-hmm.
86.
85.
I think 86.
Go ahead.
The ideal of, because of all that's going on in Africa and feeding the world, and it was a very good what's the word when you're doing things for mankind. And whoever thought, let me call the biggest names to come together in
85.
one room. 85?
Yeah.
January?
March 1985.
Okay.
Because I graduated in 86, and I don't remember it being the year I graduated.
Oh, I thought it
But
was
go
85.
ahead.
Okay. Oh, you're right. January 85. I got the date written down in my notes. You're right. And to do it after an award show. Because
Yes.
you know you had a lot of them already there to win an award or to be nominated.
Yep.
And then let's all go to such and such studio and do this song. So it was really nice documentary. You learned some stuff and you were surprised at some things.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote things down that I was surprised about. I felt bad for Sheila E.
She said they used her.
They used her
to get Prince to come. She should have known that. She was a nobody back then.
It's like they promised her a part in the thing.
And she kept asking all night, when am I going to sing? When am I going to sing?
Don't nobody know your voice, Sheila E. If you was to sing next to Michael, we wouldn't know who you are. They wanted you because of Prince.
Yeah,
and then she called Prince. She called Prince. Is Prince coming?
Night.
Is Prince coming? They had a part for Prince. Can I do a guitar?
He wanted
solo?
to do a guitar solo.
And she was like, huh?
No, Lionel Richie said no.
Well, she said, you sure? They got a part for you. And she kind of felt like he wouldn't want to be in that whole crowd because he's kind of private.
Yes.
He likes being by himself. So that's why he said, can I do a guitar solo? Of course, Quincy and I'm like, we got this song ready to go. No.
I wanted them to show more, because I didn't see it. I was just going by what you said.
Yeah.
I wanted them to show more like salacious type of stuff that was going on.
What do you mean?
The arguments or people was going against each other or something like that. Like later on, people did interviews and that's when they talked about stuff.
They spoke on their own little...
Quincy Jones said Cyndi Lauper got on his nerves. He couldn't stand her.
Cyndi had a big mouth in that whole night.
And she said she was annoying.
She was. Even her jewelry was wearing. They had what's the sound we're hearing? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's my earrings.
And she said, y'all got to remember how young I was, too. I was young back then. So I was stupid.
Yes.
I was young and stupid.
So I did feel bad. And then Michael, of course, the genius that he is, he was the first one there doing the little parts because they had to do dummy copies for them to send them all out. Lionel was so nervous because you got big names. He called Dionne Warwick. Can you get on the plane the next day or whatever? And she's like, no, I got a concert or whatever.
But she showed up.
So he was nervous about who was coming, who wasn't going to come. They had a lot of here and there, like Al Jarreau and his little energy.
Yeah. He was drunk. Didn't they say he was drunk?
Was really tipsy later.
Yeah.
But there were, I love the group coming together. And that was everybody and their mama, Bette Midler, the Pointer Sisters, the Jackson family. All of them was in there. Even Dan Aykroyd. And I said, why they got Dan Aykroyd? Because of the Blues Brothers, probably. And then they pulled them separately and did the vocals, the lead. So you probably heard some people go, why I'm not in that? Why am I don't have a part. Huey Lewis wasn't called to be in that part. They said, Prince is not coming. Can you do his part? He was like, huh?
So that was Prince's part.
He was doing Prince's part. He was so honored. It was a lot of entertainers didn't know how big this was until they walked in the room and saw Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. They were like, Dinah Ross, this is big. And they felt like, oh my God, honored. You know, that they wasn't at that level because you were giving them levels.
There's levels, even to being an A-lister.
Popularity and stuff. Diane and them at the top.
What were some of your notes?
Some of my notes was, of course, the Sheila E. thing. The man did come out who even brought up the ideal. He came out and he kind of gave some ugly stories of what's going on in Africa at that time, how they were starving and how they were dying. And
they showed them a video, didn't they? In the
finding
beginning?
bodies on the street and stuff. He said, I want you to feel this because you're getting ready to sing with your hearts. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. Your voice, your involvement is feeding a world of people that are starving. They don't even have water. Yeah. So he said, I'm telling you the good, bad, and the ugly. The ugly so you can go, ooh, and take it serious. And they all did. Even though they were hungry, they had to do that in one night, one day. And then they were saying how Stevie was messing up and being funny. Al Jarreau was drunk and tipsy. So they had to keep starting his part over. I like how the ears of the singers like Lionel Richie or Quincy would hear something and go, hey, switch your part. Even Mike, I think it was Stevie Wonder said, hey, instead of you, Paul Simon and Kenny Rogers, you sing the low and he sing the high. And then you said, can I do, they were doing things even on the spot. I love the musical. I love the how they pulled out each person. Who struggled? It was the one guy that struggled.
You mean singing?
He struggled with trying to be a part of
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. And they showed
because he didn't want to. He was like, I couldn't do that style. Yeah, and like, they said you don't have to change your style, just be you. And they blended that in.
You and me. Yeah, he said, do it. You don't have to be on the beat. Just sing you. Yeah, and he wanted everybody to just be personal with their style.
And Bob Dylan, I think it was Bob Dylan that Al Jarreau said he was his idol. And he walked up to him. Al Jarreau, they said he was drunk, whatever. Yeah. He said, oh my God, you my idol. And he said Bob Dylan looked at him like, and walked away.
You know what? And the Jennings guy, what's the country singer?
Oh, Waylon Jennings. They wanted him to do that Swahili.
Stevie Wonder wanted to do a certain part of the song in Swahili. And he was repeating the words, and people were kind of like, I can't say that. What you saying?
And Waylon Jennings said, no, I told you, he said no country. He said no country boy or something is going to be caught singing Swahili.
And he left.
And
everybody kind of watched him walk out.
He never saw him again.
Wrong.
And somebody called later and said it's good they didn't do that because that would have been offensive.
Yes.
Because the people they were singing for wasn't even Swahili. They didn't even speak Swahili.
And the guy who did the project and brought it together, he said, you guys got to remember who your audience is. You're not singing to the kids in Africa.
Was that Stevie or Michael that wanted that?
That was Stevie that wanted it. Michael wanted something else.
It was okay.
And Smokey Robinson was saying, I work with Michael. We're family from
People
Motown.
was afraid to say something.
Raise their hand. Michael, I don't think we should do that. And Smokey's like, we ain't doing that. Don't
Smokey
sound
was
right.
like, in Motown, if somebody had a stupid idea, we'd say it. I don't care if you're David Ruffin or whoever, Diana Ross. That's a stupid idea.
We ain't saying that, okay?
And everybody was whispering it, but nobody said it because they didn't want to hurt Michael's feelings. So Smokey said it. That's a stupid idea, Michael. We're not doing that.
They had
okay, Smokey, you don't like it? No, we don't like it. Get out of here.
So they had a lot of fun. Like, I remember they saying, they showed Ray Charles saying, I need to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
And Stevie said, I'll show you.
And he let him out. I told you. Everybody got a story that Stevie Wonder can sing. Shaq gave this story. Shaq said him and Stevie Wonder lived in the same condo unit. And he said that there's an elevator that goes down to the parking lot. And he said the door opened and he was in Shaq was in the elevator. Getting ready to get off. Yeah. And Stevie was getting on by himself. And he said, go ahead, Shaq.
Are we supposed to believe this?
Shaq told that story on the NFL table with Charles Barkley and them. He told it on the Tonight Show. He's told that story. He said, I'm not lying. How did he know that was me?
And how you know he didn't sense a 7-foot tall guy? Your other senses get stronger.
He said, go ahead, Shaq. And then Charles Barkley said, oh, you lying, man. He said, I'm not lying. I'm telling y'all, I swear to God. He knew who I was. So how's he going to lead?
They was laughing because he didn't go all the way. But he said, I'll take you there. Right. They was laughing, being funny.
But he does stuff like that all the time, and people think he can see.
I don't know what his eyes. I mean, is he like our dad? Before our dad passed away, our
So
dad was visually impaired.
So we said
our dad can see images, but he couldn't see.
Right.
But he could see like certain things, that bright coloring thing. So I don't know if he was if he had that type of eye.
Then
issue.
on the Grammys,
what
was it? The Grammys? Yeah, no, it was that pre-show stuff. Mariah Carey. He was giving Mariah Carey the statue.
Okay.
And she came up there and he had the microphone. And she kept walking to another microphone, and he was giving it like she was there. So they said, I guess he can't see. It was embarrassing.
That's just wrong to say Stevie can see.
He was doing this. And you, Mariah Carey. He was going like this. I ain't over there. She over there. So everybody said, I guess he can't see.
He can't.
I don't know. I don't trust
Stevie. That's just wrong. But one thing that just stood out in that whole thing, when they had the group all together, Diana Ross went over. They all had their music books. Diana Ross, with her music book, went over to Daryl. All the notes. Daryl. She said, "I love your music. I love listening to your music. Can you sign my book?" And people was watching. What? Diana Ross is asking Daryl Hall, and
they were shocked
to sign. And so everybody just started pulling their books out, and each person just started signing. They went to Sheila E. She said, "You want me to sign? I'm nobody."
And now she's somebody.
Now her signature is somebody.
Now, I did that whole rant about Miss Ross. And don't you say nothing about Miss Ross, who was one of the nicest people that night. Miss Ross.
When they left, they were done.
And she started crying.
She was crying. No, she was crying. And Quincy, I think, was it Quincy or Lionel, went over and said, Diana, what's going on? Why are you crying? Oh, I wish we could do this. We could stay forever. I wish we could do this again. I enjoyed this.
Leave Miss Ross alone.
She loved what they were doing. And I was telling my sister, I said, looking at all those names in there, people you like, people you admire, everybody was admiring each other's gift and their uniqueness, was a beautiful moment. And Diana embraced it to the point where she cried.
Well, they said, you got any more notes before we?
No, that was, I just
So they said We Are the World won Song of the Year at the Grammys, and it won Record of the Year. It won a lot of awards.
It did, yeah.
Remember we were asking, why did it take so long for them to do a documentary? Well, somebody answered it, the producers.
What happened?
A lot of the footage was damaged. A lot of it was damaged, and they didn't have the technology to kind of put it together.
Really?
And he said a lot of it was audio over. Like you was watching some footage, but you was listening to audio. So some audio they found and some footage they found, and they just kind of put it together.
Wow. How was it destroyed though?
It must have been the way they kept it or something.
But they said awesome. It was they had cameramen everywhere doing this documentary.
They said a lot of most of the percentage of the footage was destroyed. So that's why it took so long to do something.
Okay.
Let's see what anybody says. Let me see. Let me go back to what y'all was saying. Okay, Monica was saying 50 need to shut up. Nobody need Trump in that White House. They need to put Trump in jail. He has too much privileges. We agree. Justice says we would celebrate the day he goes to jail, Monica. Monica says we all need to get Michelle Obama. She would be the best ever. Justice says, remember Michael Jackson and Prince didn't get along. They didn't like each other.
And on that note, before you go to the next comment, that was the American Music Awards 85 where Prince won most of the awards. Yeah. Michael didn't win.
Yeah.
So Michael was like, I'm in another world now doing this.
Exactly. Which was a robbery. Never mind.
Well,
Monica says
was his big
his one big album. That's the other thing. Don't get me started because I'm a Michael Jackson fan.
If you're a Prince fan, I'm sorry. Michael
Jackson versus Prince. Take out Michael's #1 album. Take out Prince's #1 album. Now match them up.
You can't.
Prince isn't even in the same category.
If you take Purple Rain out, you have nothing.
So all right, I'm done. Monica says, I always get in arguments with people over Michael Jackson and Prince. Sick of that.
Go ahead.
Monica says, And he would have been weird anyway if he would have showed up that night.
Well, he probably wouldn't have been comfortable.
No, he would have been standing in some corner, all nervous or whatever. Like, no one needs that. Everybody was having a good time. Him and he would have pulled Sheila Eid over and comfort her. Get out of here. All right. And I like Prince, but no, we don't need no strange weirdness. Come out there and sing for the kids.
Yet you had LaToya Jackson there,
and she's already a nut job.
Weirdness.
Monica says Taylor needs to find a damn seat. Monica, you talking about Taylor? Now we like Taylor.
I know. She says she's too much though.
Yes, she is. She is.
I am proud of her, but she's too.
She is. You're right.
Much.
You're right.
That's what I.
She always acts surprised when she wins. Oh my God!
But you know
knew
what?
you was gonna win. Shut up.
But I was saying to my sister when we were on that segment. She's in everything now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate she's in NFL because she's dating somebody.
Yeah.
She's already being dogged out with the politicians because they said she's getting everybody to vote for it. And then the top on top of that, she's getting the biggest award.
Yeah.
And she's the fourth person to do it. So she's breaking records and stuff. This is Taylor Swift's year, big time.
Justice says Prince plays multiple instruments and wrote songs. Yeah, so what?
But they're two different categories.
I do like Prince, but I love Michael Jackson.
I love both of them, but I do not compare Prince as a musician.
They too different. Michael Jackson is not a musician.
And like Kim said, Justice, take away his Purple Rain album. What you got, boo?
He's a musician.
What you got?
That's what he is. He's a brilliant musician.
Yeah.
No one is in his class there other than Stevie Wonder. I think him and Stevie Wonder is up at the same level.
I don't know how many instruments Stevie plays.
I'm talking about as far as being a classic musician, writer, producer, director.
He's good because of the groups that he's also.
Yes, he's not even in that same category. But as far as entertainer, nobody is better than Michael Jackson.
One of the things, though, with the We Are the World, when Lionel went over to Michael's house, he was very uncomfortable because Michael pulled out the snake.
He had animals
and
all
the
there.
monkey, and Lionel's like, I can't work with like this, man.
Michael was weird.
You don't like snakes?
Yeah, what's wrong? And Lionel was like, no.
But
who wants to work with a big giant snake sitting next to him?
When he was going over the song,
he was
Michael hums it.
It's in his head. He needed Lionel to
instrument here.
Yes, he needed Lionel to put it on the piano. Prince could have if Prince and Michael Jackson would have come together. Oh, I found out this little tidbit.
What?
And then we'll move on.
Okay.
The day Michael Jackson passed away, Prince, they said that they came and they told he had a concert. Oh no, he was in rehearsal. And they said that, and this is a person who was one of Prince's best friends who was there. They came and told him, they said, guess we want to let you know something. He said, what? He said, Michael Jackson was just pronounced dead. He said Prince almost was in shock and he left and called rehearsal off. And he said he locked himself in his room. And he wouldn't open the door for nobody for hours.
I didn't know that.
They said that's why he took that hard when Michael Jackson died. So although we hear about them going like whatever, I think he respected who he was as an entertainer and what he has done. And that made him, they said he didn't talk to nobody for hours. He called rehearsal off. He closed the door. He locked it. And he didn't answer it for hours, they said.
Wow.
He took it hard, they said. He took it hard.
And I believe Michael gave Prince his props, too.
He gave Prince his props.
He's a good
Because
musician.
if y'all remember that old footage of James Brown calling Prince and Michael Jackson on stage.
Yeah.
And they danced with him.
Yeah.
I felt like Prince felt like Michael was a kindred spirit to him.
Yeah.
In that sense. Like we're both like these really big entertainers. And only we know the world how we feel. Mm-hmm. Almost like we can't go nowhere. We're in a box. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves us. And we so famous that we can't do normal average things. Mm-hmm. Maybe he felt that was going to be how he was going to die. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he took it personal, they said.
Wow.
So I thought that was good. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so every day, let me see, did y'all say something? Oh, yeah, Justice said about the instruments and stuff.
Yep.
Every day we try to put in something funny or cute or something like that. So I saw this little